Alright, what's going on everyone? This is Ginger Sama here for another episode of Satisfactory. Last episode, we finished off tiers 4 and 5's milestones. We have one issue to address, and that is power. We are not making enough of it using that coal power plant down there, and that little residual, fuel recipe that we have going on there. We're making a decent amount of power, but not enough for all these factories. So, we got some work ahead of us. And let me just show you what we're going to do. So, we are going to have to make a dam. But before we make that dam, because that's going to be where our power generation is going to be, we are going to make this whole valley. Would you call it a valley or a pit? Probably a pit. But this whole area is going to be solely focused on making us turbo fuel. So in this building right here is compact coal. And in the building right next to it is going to be water, packaged water, and all that fun stuff. Over, I think right there, we're going to have a train station that's going to go and collect that oil that's just over here on the map. We're going to have the train station go over there, come back, and make us heavy oil residue. That heavy oil residue is going to have a byproduct of polymer resin, which will just sink if we're not using all of it, but we're going to use that to help us make empty canisters, because this fuel recipe is very strange. Because we don't have access to the blender, we have to actually package water first, and then mix it with the heavy oil residue, to then make packaged turbo or packaged diluted fuel, and then with the compact coal, make the turbo fuel, which I think I'm going to put right up there on that map. I don't think I have enough room to put all these factories over here. Now I'm looking at it. Yeah, so I think fuel, diluted fuel is going to be right here. Water packaging station is going to be over there. Heavy oil residue right here. And then up here, turbo fuel. Which means we're going to need trucks, truck stations, tractors, everything. It's all going to be moving back and forth. And then once we're finished making the turbo fuel right here, we're going to use a train station to deliver the turbo fuel to the dam. And let me show you what I got ideas for the dam. I think it's going to look really cool. So we kind of already started something over here, but I'm going to have to get rid of this trident pier because there is no reason for this water anymore. Like, we are not using it for anything. I thought I was going to use it, but we're not. So, I'm going to get an attack. Alright, bye. Right over here, there's a waterfall. There's a waterfall. And there's another one over there, and over there. We got plenty of waterfalls here. And with a little bit of decorating and a little bit of fun, we can actually make this look like as if the dam is creating these waterfalls. But that means we have to dam it up there, or else it wouldn't make any sense. It would just flow more over there. One of the benefits from this is that we're going to have plenty of room to put all these fuel gens, because I think we're going to need more than 100 fuel gens overclocked. We're just going to make it this whole area filled with fuel gens. But hopefully with this design, obviously we're going to have to upgrade our compact coal to the Mark III miners on the coal nodes, because we're not getting full efficiency out of that. But we do have that wiggle room there to grow. But once we get those Mark IIIs, then we can really pump out power. And I think that I kind of want to build this in a way where I don't have to redesign everything. I just want to put all the machines down, and then once we're all good to go, then we'll just come turn them on. I think that would make the most sense. So yeah, I think gear up for today's episode. It is going to be a big one. And I can't wait to get this power production because, yeah, we're hurting a little bit. Alright, let's go.
If you're enjoying the build so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow.
Alright, so we just installed the train. And I'm timing it right now to see how long it takes for us to get to the station. Sadly, we can't put more than these 2 freight carts on here because I think... Oh man, I gotta clear out some of this debris. But I think that when you're going up steep slopes, I think you can only handle 2 freight carts. If I remember correctly, I'm not exactly sure. So I'll have to look into that again, but I think I can only handle 2 frights. This will determine whether or not we actually are getting 1200 crude oil or not. We're about 45 seconds. I just took a winding path. I didn't want to do like up in the air type of path. I wanted something on the ground. I just think it feels more natural. I don't know what I'm gonna make this area look like. I'm kind of curious. I was debating oil rig, but I feel like the oil rig works better when you have drones. I don't know. I'm gonna leave this like this for right now, but I definitely want this area to look nice. So they're filled completely with 1600. So that means I'm offloading 3200 crude oil at once, but we're already at the 2-minute mark. So that means that we're not getting the 1200. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Alright, so then realistically, what are we pumping then? So if we're getting 1600 per cart, that means we're getting 3200. 3200 divided by 3 minutes and 4 seconds. That means we're getting 941 crude oil a minute. Unless I get 2 trains. That is my solution here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some block signals. Okay, I think I'm starting to understand the block signals a little bit. So since we have 2 trains running on a single track like this with a loop, we want to put a block signal at the entrance and the exit, and then also just before, like in the middle somewhere, like just before the actual train station. This way, when the train passes the 1 block signal, because it doesn't see the other train in there, it goes into the new block, and then that tells this train, be like, okay, the train's no longer on the track anymore, it's safe to go. And it just keeps oscillating. So the way that this should be running is that while one's docking, the other one is dropping, and then flippy, you know? So we should get that 1200. Should. We actually probably have something like this. So right here's perspective. Right there will be fine. So now, because this is all 1 block, right? This is all the yellow block. That's the green block and that's the red block. So when the train comes from the yellow block and goes into the red block, then that tells the green block that it's safe to go onto the yellow block, and off it goes. Alright, so here we go. This is it in action. So the train should come from yellow block, and as soon as he passes in the red block, boom, off he goes. You just have to make sure that the block in the station is large enough to account for all the freight cars. But now that that other train left the green block, now it's safe to come in to the green block. Oh, this is so cool. I love this so much. Oh, man. Okay. I am going to have fun with this on this playthrough. That is amazing. Oh, man. Alright, with a final blueprint in place, I think we have as much as we need. We technically need 4.44 floors, but I'm thinking about just overclocking a couple of these on the top or bottom row, whatever, which one's easier. This way we can get that requirement, because we need 53. We have 53.33333, but we have 12 times 4. So we just need to overclock 5 of them to 200% or whatever it is I'm going to do. But that is not a bad looking building so far. I did do a little bit of revamping with the blueprint, so I haven't touched anything yet, but I already have all these pipes in place, all these floor holes in place, and I also have these double stackers. So I have the pipe already connected and this conveyor belt already connected. So within reason, I got as much of it done as possible, and I think it looks not too shabby. I did put a floor hole here, even though I don't think we need to, for this recipe. Oh no, we do need it for this recipe. I put a pipe hole here just in case, but we don't need it for this recipe. Overall, I think she looks good. I think it's time to get to work. Alright, we're just waiting for these last couple refineries to turn on. I decided to turn this on first just to start filling in the pipes because it does take a while. There they go. Alright, cool. Final floor of refineries have been turned on. So let's go see what that looks like down below because we should start seeing polymer resin coming through. Polymer resin's coming through, and we should see, yep, heavy oil residue in these pipes are flowing. Ooh, baby. That is 1,600 cubic meters worth of heavy oil residue flowing in these pipes. That is amazing. Okay, so this truck station's getting completely filled with polymer resin. And then once this is filled up completely, it gets shipped off into the sink. And then down here, yeah, look at that. That is fully filled. Which means these pipes are filled. Yes. See, these are all filled. No pumps needed. That is awesome. Okay, so we just need to cancel these out. These up. These should be filling right into here. Yep, that is awesome. And they'll be filling these tanks up. Oh, baby. Alright, so now for the next step. I want to put valves on all these. Now, the reason why I'm putting valves on all these is because these buffers are what's going to make our manifold system work a little bit better. Because it'll give us enough time in between train hauls. Yeah, all these are nice and filled up. Each one of these buffers are filling up so quickly. I love that so much. Now, I did do my very best on load balancing these. So we have one buffer, which is this pipe is technically not 600, it's 400 a minute. And we're dividing that into 3 different pipes. So 400 divided by 3 is 133.33333. Now, since I overclock these top refineries, I need 43.33333 residue on the top. So 43.33333 plus each one of the refineries below it. Look at that. That is perfect. Hence why, once this is up and running, that industrial fluid buffer is going to be the reason why we don't have hiccups. And then on top of here, I did my best on load balancing. Wondering if I shouldn't decorate this yet until we get packaged water up and running, because it's so much easier to troubleshoot when the floors are open like this. But it is kind of an eyesore. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. Okay, and this is going to be our input for the packaged water. So pretty much, you just drive on in with our big truckload full of packaged water, and it's going to go around this whole route. It's going to drop off here, 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 and then drive on out. And with enough of those trucks coming in, it should fill those truck stations completely filled to the brim. And I added like a nice little observatory for it too, just to see if any of the belts are broken. So here I'd be able to see all the packaged water just flying off the shelf, going straight on up. So yeah, now I just need to build the packaged water. Alright, so this is kind of what I got so far. There's a little bit of decoration, because I've been procrastinating. Oh! Every single time. I never look both ways before I cross the road. But yeah, I think I like the way this looks. I'm trying to figure out whether or not I like the concrete bottom or the black bottom. But over here, we have our little pier, which our water pipes are coming through. I overclocked all of these. So they're all at max 300 cubic meters a minute. But this one right here is set to 200. And And that's because... Oh, bad. 300 times 10, which is that, plus the 200, 3,200. That's exactly what we need. And we need 3,200 divided by 60. So we're going to need 53.3333 of these packagers. How many of these packagers can we fit per floor? If we're going to do some sort of manifold setup, because I'm trying to figure out how am I going to do a blueprint of this. Okay, so they're like constructors. They take up one floor tile by themselves. Pretty neatly, I should say. Okay, and this is a 6x6, so I can get away by using a 5x5. Alright, so that would be power sorted, and then we could just bring the power up and down using beams and stuff. For the actual logistics, I think it's actually pretty easy too. I think if I just come across like this, and I get some floor holes, I could just line them up on these centers. That's not too bad because the only input that we need from there is that. And then for the actual empty canisters, let's do it right here. How's that look? We're gonna need 60 per minute as well, which means we're gonna need 320, which means we're gonna need Mark IVs. Okay, so that's not too bad when it comes down to input. Turn off the lights and yeah, that looks pretty cool. So because I have that, I would want to probably put some small billboards down. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So now we have to work on the output. So the output's just going to be the conveyor, right? So it's just going to be packaged water. So that should be quick and easy. And I would just want to put them just like that. But then how do we merge them? Right? So we're not going to be able to get away with it this cleanly. So instead of being it right here, we're going to want it right here. I want a merger to come out the side, that, and then another merger, placing it right here. But we can't get away with it like this. So we're going to have to move 1, 2, 3, 4. That super clean. And now we could do the output here. Take it in, and boom. See how that clicks? And that clicks right into. So this setup should work perfectly all the way down the line. Alright, now that's done on both sides. So this, I'm going to copy into a blueprint and then replicate this 4 more times. So that should be quite easy. And then on the very top floor, I'm going to combine it with an industrial fluid buffer so that those have a nice tank on top. And then also an input for the conveyors. And now the roof is done. So we did another load balancing setup with a little minor manifold kind of setup. And I'll show you what I mean. Water was a little strange because we have to divide the... How many pipes is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 pipes. But remember, not all of them are fully filled up. So this one and this one are fully filled up at 600 apiece. But this one is filled up to 400. And then same thing vice versa. It's 300, 300, 400. So the way that I solved our issue here is that not only did I connect all of the pipes into fluid buffers, each their own, but then I connected all of the inputs to themselves too, so they can self-regulate themselves. This is one benefit to having fluids do this, because you can't really do this with conveyor belts. Not easily, at least. Because at least fluids will kind of fill each other up halfway, you know? Like they'll flow into each other's pipes backwards and forwards. So it helps it all get regulated. And then for the empty canisters, I wanted to show you before I doctored this up. This was very interesting to load balance. So when you do the math, let me see, can I perch up right here? I can, okay. When you do the math, you have to put in 2/3 into each one of the outputs. 3,200 divided by our 480 belts, because we don't have anything faster. Divide that by the 10 inputs requires 2/3. So that's easily said than done. So what I did was I set up each one of these inputs with a merger on different scales up, and then I split them. It's easier to see a little bit on this side. And then I split them off using a splitter. So you have one splitter, and it has 2 outputs into this one merger. So that immediately makes it into 2/3, as long as this one is engaged to the other one. So we have 1/3 going into this merger. We have 2/3 going into this merger. So that is like this all the way up. Now, how do we get an extra third into each one of these? So I devised a little vertical manifold setup. So we have this splitter coming in, and the source of this splitter is coming in. And we have one splitter going right into this merger, so that makes it 2/3. And then this splitter goes up to the second level, splits off into this one, make this one 2/3. And then this splitter splits off again. Well, this one goes up to the second level. This one goes up to the third level. And it goes across into this merger. And then that's how we get 333, or 222, I should say. But yeah, so now we have to bring these down into and connect them up to the 4 different truck stations. That is 3,200 packaged water a minute, all flowing into each one of these. Alright, so we'll let this fill up the truck stations. Okay, so I think I came up with a unpackager design for the fuel that we're generating from over here. And it's quite modular, even though we only need 3 of these. I packed this thing filled with 20 packagers. I think I could have actually gone for 32. I could have fit one more, but it would have gotten a little tight, and I wanted to decorate it a little bit. But it doesn't look half bad. You know, it takes the fuel recipe, the packaged fuel recipe, and just splits it in half. And since there's going to be 3 of these on top of each other, each one of these pipes needs to be able to handle 360? Yeah, 360, so that's why I had to upgrade to the Mark IIs. And they're just going to come underneath, which I still have to marry them underneath here, I'm not going to lie. But they're going to come underneath and send it right into these 6 inputs. So not too shabby at all. And then these would be where the packaged fuel goes up. So I'm going to have to create a truck station, and it's going to deliver this all. And this is what helps it make it modular. I really like the stacked look too. I'm not gonna lie, using the frame walls and the frame foundations, you can create like a shelf for these factories. Oop. And then you just got to get a little creative with the logistics. So I do have some minor clippage with the pipe, especially through the merger. But I felt like that should be allowable, you know, since I'm imagining the fluid going all around the merger or splitter. It was the merger, right? Yeah, merger. I'm imagining the fluid going around it like a heat exchanger, and the steel canister's just going right on through. But yeah, now I just got to save this. I'm gonna name it Fuel Unpackager. All right, so we're all hooked up. Power, logistics, pipes, everything. Yeah, this building in particular is an intense Oh wait, no, I'm not all done because I forgot to set up the outputs as well. Oh my god, I forgot to do the outputs on this one too. Okay, well anyway, to deal with the jerry cans, I have this station, which this station is going to, you drive the truck in, you grab all the jerry cans, and then you drive on out, and then that is going to be delivered back into the system right over there, which that's what that whole building's for. Which I don't think I actually put a truck station on there yet, now I'm thinking about it. Oh man, so we still got plenty of work to do. So we got to hook up the outputs here, hook up a train or a jerry can input here, hook up the outputs there, And then I could get started on the fuel. Jenny's. Okay. We're getting somewhere. There's progress, 200 hours, but it's fine. I'm thinking about something right now. And I'm fighting a demon here. But that's creating packaged fuel. And I would have to make a whole nother garage for it, like somewhere over here or something. I don't have that much room left. So what I could do is I could just pipe in to there all the fuel, and then it goes along its way. No trucks needed. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So all those truck stations, unnecessary, completely unnecessary. All right, with these final belts, this factory's output is completely hooked up. Now I had to get a little interesting here because I didn't want the output of this factory to be on the ground floor, since we're not using a garage for the output for this one. We're actually just using like an aqueduct kind of highway service. So decorations aside, so we have this output feeding right into the storage facility that's going to feed the turbo fuel. All right, we are getting somewhere. So we have these industrial buffers in this room and just above it, which is going to be fed from the turbo factory into all these industrial buffers that fill this train station. We have all the output for the pipes hooked up. The only thing that we haven't hooked up yet, it's the last thing to hook up, is the compact coal. Now I did change up the downstairs a little bit, and I'm going to put some lights down here and everything, but this is going to be all compact coal truck stations. Reason being because we need to have all these inputs for the coal. Alright, you can see very easily how quickly I could get distracted. Okay, but we have ourselves a little archway here. A little extra flare at the top too. But yeah, so the compact coal will come in here. So compact coal goes into there. And then the packaged fuel is dispersed from there upwards. And all the power, all the logistic, all the compressing, all the load balancing should be done. It should be. I'm not going to say is done because we have to turn it on and see what's broken. But this is the unpackager. So packaged fuel comes in through here, gets unpackaged, and then piped up to the top. The compact coal is hiding in that corner framework, and it goes all the way up to the top as well. And then just all trickles down into each one of the refineries. And then those pipes, as I said before, gets put into these industrial fluid buffers right into the train station, and the train will deliver it to the dam. So that's good. And then the empty packages, the empty canisters, the jerry cans, will be delivered here, in which we have a truck coming through, picking up everything. Hopefully this all works. I'm praying. And we'll deliver it back to the water packager over yonder. Water packager then goes back into this system via that garage, and the heavy fluid oil comes in from this system, thankfully from that crude oil node. And once the heavy oil takes us that bus across. So we are hopefully done. All I gotta do is just start the trucks and do the routes, and I'm really scared because, oh god, I know something's broken. I know it. I can feel it in my bones. I just don't know what it is. I think the best one to start off with first is the packaged water. The packaged water will get delivered and it would immediately start making the packaged fuel. Then we can see what's broken there. And then once we figure out that, then we can pipe out the compact coal, and then we'll see what's broken there. So, yeah, wish me luck. Alrighty, we're working. The train right now is taking in all that turbo fuel. And I just did a back and forth train. Not gonna lie. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. Now we have all this beautiful turbo fuel going across the landscape. I still gotta decorate this a little bit and make this look nice. But just comes across. You know what I think is so funny? Is the fact that before I just ran pipes all the way across here. It was such a short distance. I could have just ran pipes across the whole thing. But now we have this train. Drops off all the beautiful deliciousness. So turbo fuel is going to be delivered into those tanks. And then I obviously have to put more buffer tanks too. So I'm wondering if I should do that here or if I should do that down here. And I'm thinking down here. I think each one of these holds 1,600 cubic meters worth of fluid. Yeah, 1,600 each. Okay. Oh man, alright, so I gotta do the calculation between the horns, the bumps. But I think we should be fine as long as we put an industrial size storage for each one of these line outputs. Alright, so I guess right now it's just designing the whole factory. The biggest dam in the United States is in Washington. It's called the Grand Coulee Dam. And this dam is a monster because it just produces so much power. About 7,000 megawatts. So per year, it generates 20.24 tetrawatts an hour. Tetrawatt hours. That is insane. This thing pumps it out. So I'm gonna do something similar here. And the way this dam is kind of constructed is that it has the raised wall, like most dams do. You know, so it'll have its foundation, you know, come up. And it has what's called a spillway. And the spillway is where the water is purposely leaked out of, and that's what spins the turbines. So I'm wondering if I can create something similar of an effect here, because this waterfall, obviously I'm not going to be able to move where this animation starts and stops. So this is where the spillways are going to be. Alright, so this is the spillway. We can have a walkway going across, which will have its own unique, own pillars going down. So that's where the blueprint's going to come in. And then from where those pillars are, there's also going to be like an angled stanchion coming down off of them too. So I'm going to see if I can work on a design and then make it into a blueprint so we can implement it across the whole thing. Alrighty, we are getting somewhere. So we have some fuel generators unlocked. Unlocked? Wrong word. Installed. So let me just run you through this real quick. So the train delivers it. Whoa. Train delivers it. Pipes bring them down and around. Curious to see. Yeah, there's probably a better way to organize these pipes, but you know, I digress. Pipes fill up these industrial fluid buffers. So these are nice and filled right now. The only one that's actually being used at the moment is this one. And that thing is super full still. I lied. The top one is. My bad. And that's still super full. So it comes underneath and then splits via pipe junctions and comes up through the floor holes into the systems. So super easy. Very easy. Just a lot of time consuming. Now, none of these were blueprints because I just wanted to hash out this design first. Yeah, see, everything's still working its way through. There we go. Oh, look at this beautiful power. It's going up. We're nowhere near even close to being done. We only installed, what is this, 36? Yeah, we've only installed 36. We still have plenty more to put in. And none of these were overclocked either, really. And then let me show you the dam. So, still working on the concept for this side. But I think I like the way the front looks. I think that looks pretty cool if I say so myself. I put the black fixed walls going all the way down because normal dams actually have a really long spillway, but also normal dams don't build themselves up past the level of the water, right? So technically speaking, if I was to build this to regular, it would be the size of these, like this walkway right here. I had to build up because I can't, without cheating at least, I can't build under the water. Yeah, because normal dams, normal dams will actually build like their whole generator system underneath of it all, so that there's more and more pressure. You get the maximum pressure for the difference of height. But you know, I mean, I could have done the fix-it cart trick. I think. I'm actually not sure if it would have worked. Like in the ground like this, because of the water. But I think this looks pretty cool. I think this looks pretty cool. So I have to pretty much build this. Oh. I have to build this over here, over there, and over there. We're going to have 4 of these modules of 36 each, give or take. And I'll be able to underclock a couple of them because of that. So we're going to have this module here, there, and over there. And then maybe build up something around this corner right here, like a cool little junction. That'll do it. That'll pretty much finish this off. So now I just have to get this into a blueprint. And I think I'm going to separate this into like production. So production will be a blueprint. And then for design, I think this front face would be one blueprint. And I'll make it maybe just like 1 or like 2 wide, 2 foundations wide, so I can stack them as long as I need to. Yeah, I'm just going to clean these pipes up a little bit more. And then get these up and running. We'll be good. I think we're doing great. I think we're doing good on time too. Oh man, I chew. That is awesome. It is actually kind of funny that my boosted production is well taken over my consumable. Like the purple is way above that orange. That is beautiful.
2,000 years later.
We're all hooked up. We have everything working perfectly. The only thing that we need to do once we get them unlocked is upgrade our coal miners to Mark III. Because I'm having an issue with our compact coal going into our turbo fuel. But as far as everything else goes, I mean, this is all working as it's supposed to. So, I think I already gave you the tour on everything. It's been so long I can't remember really. I did have to change these from truck stations to conveyor belts. So all the empty canisters just come down in a bus line and go across into that garage. So sadly, I did have to do that. And why are vehicles deadlocked? Oh man, this has been another fight of mine too. I think it's the turbo fuel delivery, because it runs the opposite direction of everyone else, but usually they kind of just kick each other and get back in a line. Let's just see. Where's the deadlock? Right here. Yep. Told you, it's this guy right here. I'm going to have to reprogram his route so he goes around the opposite way. But before I do that, I kind of want to show you the dam. Oh yeah, we finished it all right. Let me hop into my hypertube over here. I installed one just because the amount of times I go back and forth. So this one brings me over here. And look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. Oh man, it was definitely fun building this thing. It was so much fun building this here. I got a helicopter landing pad too, so let me come in. And boom. Nice. Alright, so this is the office building. This is how I get back to the city right here. We have a bunch of cubicles, some control stations, a men's room, as needed, a little rec area, female room. Oh, what the? How'd you get here? How did you get there? Anyway, we have a little rec area, you know, all the normal stuff. But I do like having the helicopter landing pad in the middle of all these cubicles. I think that'd be a kind of cool work area. We go downstairs. Go downstairs over here. Whoops. Go down these steps. It's a little dark, but not for too long. This is the warehouse filled with tons of pipes, because that is how this dam operates. It's just bunch of pipes. And I thought these would be a little bit bigger to act like forklifts, but these clearly would not pick up anything. But I like to think that they do, you know? Anyway. Put that down. This is dark. Oh, man. It's a little spooky. But then we're on the main ground floor of the dam. So all these machines are... I only have half of them on. I only have half of them on because even though they're supposed to be running at 225 each, because I'm not working with those Mark III coal, you know, sadly, I'm not able to get all the machines on. But that's actually reassuring because, I mean, look at that straight line. We're producing 77,000 megawatts. My boost is almost more than my maximum capacity for everything running. And that's with only half of these turned on. Yeah, I love it so much. So yeah, this is the main floor. All the pipes run into each one of these like modules. I had a blueprint for this to make this a little bit easier. And all these machines are maxed out clock-wise, you know? And then once everything is running perfectly, all these valves make it so that they only take what's needed. And I had to actually use 2 train stations. I'll show you. There's a little underground pathway here. So we have these pipes coming in from the train. And I had to use 2 because what was it? I think it was like 2 minutes and 30 seconds it was from it going back and forth. And my throughput was just barely not enough. So all I did was just make 2 train stations and have 1 train standing by so that when this one's pulling into the docking area, the other one goes right away. And I think that works out quite well. But these are all filled up nicely, good. But I think this one was empty. Oh, I won't be able to check while it's docking. But you kind of get the drift. It merges both those pipelines into these large industrial buffers, which are nice and filled up beautifully. And then the ones back at base are filled up too. So they just, the more fluid buffers, the better. That's kind of the idea. But yeah, this is operational. My God, it was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, but it was a lot of work too. This has been a couple weeks in the making, but I think it came out quite well. So I'm gonna go back into my office and contemplate what we're gonna be doing for Christmas, because it's Fixmas, everyone. And landing. All right. So I think I'm just going to go back to my office building. Take another good look at the dam. Oh man, it just looks so good. I'm so proud of this thing. It's so nice, and I'm so glad it works too. I will put walls on those, don't you worry. I'm just running out of time for this episode, sadly. Take care, everyone. It has been a pleasure. I love y'all to death. I love that dam to death. And I hope you guys have a good one. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.